What's going on, people? My name is Derek Calvin, and welcome to episode 2. Do you know the Mushroom Man? Now, today's guest will be anonymous, so I will be referring to him as the Mushroom Man. Hello, you're with Derek Calvin. What's up, man?
Not much, dude. Not much. I'm happy to be honored to be on the show as the Mushroom Man.
I appreciate it.
A lot of people want that title, but
Right.
yeah. So I'm happy to get it for a second.
Right. All right. So the first question today I have for you is, what are you going to school for?
So I finished an undergrad degree in molecular biology, and now I'm 3 out of 4 semesters through with a master's in molecular biology. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when are you going to be graduating?
I should be done in May.
Nice.
I'm excited, dude.
Right.
It's looking good out there right now.
Any jobs looking good that are coming up with your degree?
Yeah. Really, like the main reason I just wanted to stay anonymous was just kind of because of that. I'm not established whatsoever in a career.
Right.
And we're going to be talking about some more illegal stuff. But yeah, dude, jobs are looking good. There's a couple gene editing companies popping up that are getting hella cash.
Right.
From like bigger pharmaceutical companies that know that like gene editing and gene therapy is kind of going to be what medicine looks like in the future, right?
Right.
So there's a few of those out there that I'm looking at working for, and it should just be like mainly research lab stuff, like DNA extractions and computer analysis and writing computer programs and stuff to kind of go through the huge data sets that you get when you work with genetics.
And can you explain more, in your opinion, why you think like the pharmacies are like scared of these kind of companies that are coming up?
Well, I don't know if it's as much as they're scared. They just know a change is coming.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So they feel. Sorry.
I would say that. No, it's all good. I would say that they do have a little bit of fear of change because it's going to cost them a shit ton of cash.
Right.
Right. They're spending like billions and billions on these little tech companies who have good ideas that could potentially take their place one day. You know what I mean? So like the competition is getting hot out there, and they know that they need to buy up all of these gene editing startups to kind of step in that competition's way.
Right.
If that makes sense. But I mean, I'm far from the first person to identify this, but medicine is going to go genetic because we can target things on a cellular level.
Right. Right.
Like if you have a virus, like if any old virus you get, what happens is this virus injects basically DNA into your cells.
Mm.
So when you start making the proteins that you need to make to survive from your genes, there's this little code in there that the virus put in that's telling the cells to do the wrong thing, and that's why you get sick.
Right.
Because you start making all these different proteins and things like that. So with something like genetic medicine, you can just go in, snip that out,
right.
No more virus. There's no fucking waiting 2 weeks to get over the flu or any shit like that. It's just targeting things on a cellular level. It can happen really immediately. Same thing with cancer. Cancer is all about DNA kind of going crazy, like just mutations out the fucking asshole. And that's basically what cancer is. So if you can go in, fix those mutations, then you can fix cancer. I mean, obviously I'm putting it really simply.
Right.
But
there's a lot more to it. But you're just
right. But that's the basics. I mean, that's kind of what's happening right now, and molecular biologists and everybody is kind of getting ready for that shift in medicine.
Right.
It's definitely gonna change the way things are going.
Right. I wish we had that back then, because I remember when I was younger, I got really sick. I had like a blood clotting disorder, and like the doctors couldn't like figure out at all what it was, and so I was like, for like the first 2 months, I was in the hospital with like no known like diagnosis, and then the last month they finally diagnosed me with a blood clotting disorder. So if this is the advancement towards the future, it'll be really great for people that didn't have that luxury back then. They'll have it in the future. So
Right, true. And it's going to be more accessible because once this technology, right now it's extremely expensive
right,
to get any kind of gene therapies, but obviously once they start ramping it up and putting these things into production, like CRISPR, I'm sure most people have heard of like CRISPR. Like
I
that's
have
the
not.
main-
I have not.
Okay. So CRISPR stands for clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats, and I know that's a really weird analysis, but basically what they've done is they've used this technology to kind of harness the power of this gene editing, so they can inject these enzymes, these Cas9 and CRISPR enzymes into your body, and they're able to target these specific areas in your genome, in your DNA, and make those changes that need to be made. I would say that this blood clotting disorder that you're talking, I don't know for sure, but
Right.
it's probably genetic
Right.
in nature.
Yeah.
You're probably You're probably improperly making some sort of protein.
Mm-hmm.
So this CRISPR system can go in, change the way that you make the protein, and make you a healthier person on the other side.
Wow.
And it's gonna be so much cheaper at the base of it because a lot of it's gonna be done by computer programming.
Yeah.
In the future.
Yeah, like you were saying about like genetics, because like it runs in I have it. My oldest cousin has it, and then my grandfather, who passed away 4 years ago, he had it. So like it was only in like the boys, but it like skipped a generation. So like
Right. Yeah. That's what happens. Boys can get a lot of blood disorders easier than girls can because we only have that 1X chromosome as
Right.
girls have, 2.
Yep.
So if one of theirs is bad, they have another one to fall back on. If one of ours, as being males, is
Right.
bad, then we only have the one bad copy. So
Right.
we're kind of fucked.
Right.
In that particular sense. Yeah.
Right. So the reason why we call you the Mushroom Man is because you're a botanist, right? I could say that.
Yeah.
All right.
A mycologist.
Yep.
would be-
Mycologist. There we go.
I do fancy myself a botanist, which
Okay.
would be the plant side of things, and I fancy myself a little bit of a mycologist, an amateur mycologist as well.
And what is a mycologist? I know what a botanist is.
So mycology is the study of mushrooms.
Okay. So that's not.
Yeah.
So what's botanist?
Botanist is like the study of plants and
Oh,
plant
okay.
physiology.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that they there was different ones for them. So that's really
definitely.
cool.
So, mushrooms and plants are super different. The mushroom like that you actually see come out of the ground
Right.
is really like technically just the penis.
Right.
To be like crude.
Right.
And the greater body is like this root system called mycelium that lives underground and kind of does its thing, like all the time.
Right.
So it's actually the greater body is underground and isn't like the actual mushroom that comes up out of the ground that you can see. Most of the organism is where you can't see under the soil.
Right. And you like to go out and pick your own, right?
Oh heck yeah, dude! That's definitely my favorite hobby.
Nice.
Is going out foraging mushrooms, dude. It's good stuff.
Nice.
It's good stuff. I do a lot of it's not just psychedelic. I do a lot of edible mushrooms and incorporate those into my diet.
Right.
I think it's really good for you. I think it's a healthy thing to do, and it just like gets you outside and
Exercising, hiking. You're
exactly.
going to like deep places, moisture, like where like creeks and stuff are, finding them, like
exactly.
exploring, just like getting out and about and stuff. So like for people who like don't know what to look for, like I know there's like dangerous mushrooms, like if you pick those ones, like you'll probably end up sick and in the hospital. So like for our viewers, like what are some things that people should look for like good ones?
Yeah, so I mean, if you're kind of going towards like psychedelics and you want to do psychedelic,
Right.
For psychedelic mushrooms, you're going to be really hard pressed to find those unless you're in like Florida, Georgia, Texas, like the southeast.
Right.
There's a lot of them there. There's a lot in California as well. But as far as edible mushrooms go, you just want to find edible mushrooms. Those are everywhere. You know, in any state in the U.S. has good edible mushroom foraging. They're everywhere. But first I would recommend like getting a field guide.
Right.
Because like you said, there are mushrooms that look the same, like especially to somebody who isn't trained or doesn't know like really what's going on.
Right.
They look almost the same, and one of them will send you on like a wonderful trip,
right,
and the other one will kill you very slowly, and there's nothing anybody can do about it.
Right.
So research. People kill themselves, relatively often doing this BS. So
right, by not knowing.
For sure.
Right.
But that being said, it's a totally doable thing as long as you put enough thought into it.
Right.
Like it's all good.
Right.
A lot of people do it, and there's like Facebook groups, mushroom foraging Facebook groups, where if you find something and you're not sure of it, you can put it on that Facebook group, and you get a pretty damn reliable ID.
Nice.
Because it's like like crowdsourcing information.
Right. Networking.
A lot of people are really happy to help.
Right.
There's some, a lot of times on these forums you find college professors who are, just like good souls, and they're trying to keep people from hurting themselves, and just throwing out good IDs and saying, yeah, man, that's going to be good, or I would definitely leave those in the fucking ground.
Right. So I was just reading an article the other day about like how the government is now trying to make like psychedelic mushrooms legal. What are your thoughts on that? Like as like sort of like how medical marijuana is, they're sort of like leading mushrooms into that sort of like path. Yeah.
I think that's fantastic.
Right.
I think the recent work with weed over the past like decade, really 5 years,
yeah,
has been fantastic, dude. They've been putting in work out there. Some of these lawyers and stuff have been getting it.
Right, all because of Colorado. They were the first ones to really get it going, and like now it's only now there's only like 11 states that have like recreational weed legal, and like all the states are coming on board with medical marijuana, and you have to be like 21 and over to purchase it and stuff. So
There's a lot of rumblings that it's about to be legalized on a federal level.
Nice.
Instead of just like everybody just go ahead and let everybody do their thing, but which how are you gonna tell somebody not to smoke pot? I mean, that's the dumbest shit.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
Like, that's a timeless argument.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You can't tell.
We're gonna look back in 2 years.
Yeah.
And be like,
what were we doing?
Weed charges out there. What the fuck?
Right.
Like, yeah. Dumbest shit ever. So I'm really happy that this new wave is coming kind of behind the weed with the mushrooms. Right. I'm of the belief that it could help a lot of people. We're fucking crazy out there right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild out there, and I think that mushrooms could get people to take a step back for a second.
Right.
And, say, hey, maybe what we're doing isn't exactly totally right. And,
right.
Just look at people as equals rather than Republicans or Democrats or men and women or black and white. Just like push all that shit to the side for a second. Let's do what's best for us.
Right. Really have people's eyes open.
Yeah. And I think that's a big part of what mushrooms do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that's a great thing. Obviously you have to be really safe. You can't just be throwing them shits around because they will knock you down quick. And if you have family history of schizophrenia, I think there's certainly enough evidence to support that it could kick off a schizophrenic episode.
Right.
And you should probably stay away from these drugs.
Right.
But, I mean, it's hard to say, man. There's not enough research out there.
Right.
The government just shut all that research down.
Yeah.
For like 60 years.
Yeah.
They were having such promising results, like in the 1950s and 60s, with psychedelic therapies.
Yeah.
Like using using small doses of mushrooms and using small doses of LSD
Yeah.
in your regular therapy sessions kind of loosen things up and give you more connection to kind of what's deeper in your mind that's holding you back.
Right.
And the kind of numbers that there, I can't think of another study that was that promising that just got completely quashed. I mean,
right.
I'm not a big conspiracy theorist or anything, but I don't think the government wants us to have these drugs because they know that we might actually get our shit together.
Right.
If we move forward with that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. Sure is, And so with the, so have you ever had a worse trip? You ever had a bad trip?
I mean,
I know we've talked about this like before because we're pretty close, but like I don't think I'm not trying to speak for you, but like I remember talking to you saying it wasn't like a really bad trip, just like you felt like out of place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have dabbled around with psychedelic mushrooms quite a bit, and I've taken a half an ounce, and when I did that, I only did it one time.
Right.
I just lost who I was. I was just tripping so hard that it was difficult for me to like wrap my mind around anything and kind of like find my center. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was just like for a few hours, which seemed like an eternity in the trip.
I know that feeling, man.
I was lost. Like I didn't know who I was. I didn't know where I was. I just had to lay down, put like a cold towel over my face, and just strap into that roller coaster and go for the ride, and just trust that.
Man.
Whatever was out there, I was going to be okay.
Yeah, these
are really terrifying experiences sometimes, man.
Yeah, it is. Trust me. You're talking.
You fucking crazy.
You're talking to the right person about this because I've had some crazy experiences with bad trips. That's why I don't really be doing them anymore because of like my bad experiences. I left that shit in my college days, so. But don't get me wrong, I've had good trips, and like I'm not here to preach that it's bad and don't do it. Do what you want, but I'm just saying, you got to go in there like a clear mind and like you said, you just got to ride that roller coaster. You can't be thinking.
No, you can't fight it.
You can't fight it because if you do, it's just gonna make it longer and it's gonna be worse and worse. Yeah, it's gonna be worse. So you just gotta, like you said, go along for that roller coaster.
Yep. Setting these drugs are the most important thing. Like who you're with, like where you are, like making sure that you're comfortable and safe. Like if I'm not saying that people can't have a good time doing it because I've heard of people having a good time doing it, but taking, like 10 G's and going to an EDM concert with a bunch of people that you don't know.
Right.
Is a lot different than taking 10 G's and sitting on a couch with somebody who you are very intimate and personal with,
right,
and can talk about your problems.
Right.
That's almost like two different drugs right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the same thing. And then also, you find these mushrooms and they're different potencies.
Right.
There are so many different strains. It's getting to be a lot like weed, where, you know what I'm talking about, like the old heads, like the old school people.
Right.
What hits the joint of today's shit, and
right,
they're like, this is too much.
Right.
It's the same thing with mushrooms. They are fitting so much psilocybin, so much of the active ingredient into the mushrooms that it's just, you can take a gram and be off the rails.
Right.
Whereas, you can take an eighth of another kind of mushrooms and be fine.
Right.
Relatively okay. So there's a lot of variability in it. You know what I mean? It's not just black and white.
Right.
And there's different degrees to trip too. Like a gram is kind of like lift off, and then you move into 2 G's, and you start, full on tripping. You move into 3.5 G's. That's the full trip, and then 5 G's is something that's known as the hero dose.
Right.
Like that's when you just kind of lose it.
Right.
And I had a buddy who he's a really interesting guy, really smart dude. Wish I could say his name, but his mom died, right?
Right.
And he and his mom were close. His father wasn't present, and I just say that to say that like this hit him hard.
Right.
Like from what he told me, like harder than anything had ever hit him before.
Of course.
So he took a few grams and went into the woods by himself.
Oh boy.
Just had like a come to Jesus meeting with whatever was out there, and
Oh, nice.
What ended up happening for him was he had a really crazy trip. A lot of what people would maybe classify as a quote unquote bad trip. I don't like saying bad trip.
Right.
I think even in the bad trips, good things come.
Oh yeah, heck. Oh yeah. Trust me, I've had.
A lot. That's often the most growth that you'll find with psychedelics are in the quote unquote bad trip.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So he kind of came on those. He wasn't any happier about his mom passing away, but I think there was more of a realization that, she wasn't really gone.
Right.
Her spirit
was there.
What she did in life isn't gone.
Right.
Like it's still happening.
Right.
All the good that she did, all the the raising him and his sister and everything like that, it was still there.
Right.
And just because she was dead doesn't mean that her memories can't live on and he can't draw off of all the things that she gave him while she was alive.
Right.
And that's just like a beautiful story. And you find these individuals kind of stories, a lot of places, and when you really get down and talk to people, more people than a lot of people might think have had a life-changing or something that they use learn something that they use on a daily basis on a mushroom or some kind of psychedelic trip.
Right. Yeah, I'm glad I have you on the show.
This guy is he's a doctor. He's a practicing physician.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So these aren't just hippies like us, just fucking tripping out in the woods.
Right. But yeah, I'm glad I have you on the show because these are the types of terms that I had no idea about, and the people should know. So I'm really glad I got you on the show.
Yeah, they definitely should know. I mean, they should learn and make decisions for themselves.
Right.
And if you don't think tripping is right for you, then you shouldn't fucking do it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like it could really hurt mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Put you in a bad place. But if you need something to, I'll explain it this way. Michael Pollan is a really great author. He wrote a book called How to Change Your Mind.
Right.
He's actually a postdoc at Harvard, and a lot of people listen to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden he drops a book called How to Change Your Mind on the history of psychedelics. And people were like, yo, Michael, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
And he was like, dude, I had some powerful experiences, and I had to write about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he was worried that it was kind of going to hurt his career. But what happened was these people started coming out and saying, hey, I actually, I had a trip that changed my life for the better as well.
Wow.
But he explained it like this. He said psychedelics are kind of like you're sledding down a hill, and every time you sled, you make a deeper trench. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this trench just gets deeper and deeper, and you can't get out of this trench. You can't help but go that same direction you've been going. You keep telling yourself things like, I can't get through this without a drink. I'm not worthy of love.
Right.
I can't do this. And you do psychedelics, and kind of what happens is you get a new layer of snow, and you can kind of take that sled wherever you're trying to go.
Nice.
So I think that's a good thing. But if you've got a good groove, you don't want to lose that either. So, I mean, it's just, it's a very personal, intimate thing that people decide to do or not to do. But I think people should make a conscious decision.
Right.
I think everyone should make a conscious decision.
Right.
Do them or not, dude.
You see that, folks? So just, if one thing you want to take from this interview is just open your minds and just like see others as equals, and look past the glass you already are looking into, and just see a whole different meaning of stuff, and you'll really open your eyes, and you just never know like what these kind of situations have affected people in the better or worse. So like you just got to be cautious of that and stuff.
Exactly. If you're just keeping an open mind,
Yeah.
yeah, that's so important.
Right.
You know, I feel like, you know, I grew up in a small town, and kind of the only thing separating me from all the other small town people isn't, you know, intelligence or anything like that. It's just keeping an open mind. Like,
Right.
so, you know, you're just able to push forward and take every opportunity that kind of comes your way.
Right. Exactly.
It's important.
Right.
It's so important to keep an open mind.
Right. So you're a big sports guy. What'd you think about the Super Bowl?
Oh, dude, I knew the Chiefs were going to win that game.
So did I, bro. So did I.
I just knew, I was just thinking about it, and I was like, first of all, Pat Mahomes is the
Right.
fucking real deal.
Right.
Like, he is the real fucking
Yeah.
deal.
He's like he's a better Aaron Rodgers, and I'm a Packers fan. So like he's
right,
a
and he's
he's-
got mad legs,
Yeah.
dude. Oh my god, and he's so smart.
yeah.
Like with all.
And it's just only his third year. Like it's just crazy.
Right, and he seems like and you know, like all that aside, he seems like a really nice guy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Seems like a real nice guy, but dude, but like, you know, they went in the playoffs. They went through come from behind games.
Yeah.
You know, he's a comeback master. When they were down in the fourth quarter, I was like, I just
Right. Just knew.
Jimmy Garoppolo was going to win this game.
Yeah. Just knew it.
And he's got Tyreek Hill, like
Yeah.
like maybe the fastest dude in the NFL.
Right.
And I thought McCole Hardman was going to have more of an impact in that game. I think he's going to be fucking great going forward.
Yeah. And I'm
Georgia receiver, dude.
yep. And I had
Line.
I had Travis Kelce on my fantasy, so I've always liked Travis Kelce.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, but I'll tell you what though, Kittle.
Yep.
Kittle's mean.
Kittle's good.
Yeah, two fucking game changers right there.
Right.
Kittle and Kelsey, hard
Yeah.
players, dude.
Yeah.
Love watching those dudes play.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
going back to like earlier, like we were talking about conspiracy theories. Like, I think the NFL's kind of like all sports. They're all kind of like rigged in some way, and it was just
Yeah,
and
I hate to say that, but yeah, I think you're right.
and like I hate to say it, but it's kind of true because like it's like the storybook was being written. Like Andy Reid hasn't won a Super Bowl ever, and he's like the fifth most winning quarterback, and like he got to the Super Bowl with the Eagles, and like who knows when he's gonna get back again. So I just knew they were gonna win just because of that. It was just the NFL.
Yeah.
NFL and sports, they love stories. That's why like news reporters
Yeah.
and newscasters make these type of topics to like talk about things and to make stories. And like, you know, it's kind of like Peyton Manning. Like if he wasn't retiring, I really believe the Panthers would have won that Super Bowl.
Yeah, man, that's an interesting thought. Thought.
And some people might come at me for that, but you know that's just my opinion because like if Peyton Manning wasn't retired, like yeah, their defense was good, but like their offense wasn't good at all. Peyton Manning had like almost 20 interceptions that year. Like that's like that don't win you a Super Bowl. And it was like the score was so low. Well, I forget what the score was, like 15 something. It was like a low scoring game that game.
Didn't Von Miller come out with the MVP there?
Yeah.
I think he did.
Yeah, he
I
did.
think he did.
It was like
that was a mean motherfucker.
yeah.
That year.
It was like the
He's
first.
still bad, but like this year that year he really fucked him up.
Yeah, it was like the first defense of player to win an MVP in like years. I think
like in the modern era.
yeah, I think the last person was Lawrence
Yeah.
Taylor. I don't know.
Oh man, there are a lot of good edge rushers.
Yeah.
He's definitely at the top.
Yeah.
He's bad.
Yeah.
Who do you think's about to win the NBA championship? What's up for that?
You know, I really think the Lakers are gonna pull it off. I think it's gonna.
You don't think Giannis?
I think it's
you don't
gonna.
think Giannis gonna do it?
No, I think it's gonna be Bucks Lakers because
Bucks Lakers. Yeah.
because
I think that's inevitable.
yeah, because the Clippers are hurt now. Like Paul George has a hamstring.
That's true.
Paul George has a hamstring injury. Kawhi's doing all this load management, and freaking like LeBron gets so much crap on him, but like he's out here he's been playing all 50 some games that have already been played since until the All-Star break, and he's gonna keep playing the rest of the games. And like Kawhi's already missed like I was watching Undisputed, and like Kawhi's already missed like 22 games, and he missed the same amount the whole year when he was with Toronto and they won the championship. So like it's
He's
just
such a fucking baller. Man.
right.
God, he's so good.
Right.
I do wish he put. It is kind of disappointing though. Like if I bought a ticket to a game
And he wasn't
you know,
there.
growing up,
Right, and he wasn't there.
yeah.
He was sitting on the bench. You came to see him. That's what like
right.
exactly. That's what I'm
there,
talking
like,
about.
PG, Kawhi Leonard.
Right.
I want to see Kawhi Leonard play basketball.
Right.
But I can't buy a ticket to his game because who the fuck knows if he's gonna play or not.
Exactly.
But
I
don't know.
yeah,
I think that they should probably reduce the number of games in the league, man.
yeah,
I don't know. It just seems like a lot.
yeah,
I play fantasy basketball.
Right.
I love fantasy basketball. You know, for better or worse.
right.
And
But 82 games is a fucking lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have Devin Booker on my team, and I was looking at his schedule one week. He had 5 games in 1 week,
Yeah.
2 back to back,
Yep.
and they were like in San Antonio, Golden State, Portland, and then the other 2 were in Phoenix.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
That's fucking crazy. You
Right.
can't sleep. You
Yeah.
can't get a good night's sleep doing that. That's impossible.
Right. And then like it's not like football where you get a bye in the playoffs. Like you
Right,
just
no.
you go straight into it. Like
You get the
either
All-Star
you
game.
get 4 games or you go to 7. So that's more games
Yep.
playing on top of that 82 you already just played if you make the playoffs.
Yep. God forbid you make the All-Star game.
Exactly. Yeah.
And deal with all of that shit.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No wonder all this low managing is happening. I can see why.
Yeah. If I was Kawhi Leonard, I would probably be doing the same thing as him
yeah.
because everybody knows how good he is. He's
Mhm.
not going to go without a huge ass contract.
Right.
Like whoever, he's a championship player. You know, he's capable of leading a team to a championship, which I think there's only probably 4 or 5 guys in the league that could even do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So they're going to come with a high fucking premium.
Right.
So no matter if Kawhi Leonard missed the whole regular season and only played in the playoffs, he's still going to get paid.
Right.
So I mean, I can't blame him.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to get mad at him for doing this because he's just taking care of his own.
Right.
But I wish that he played more. That's for sure. Like,
Right. Nice.
want him to play more, but
Right.
it's rough. I don't know.
So a little bit off of sports, but like just because I know you, I want to ask how you're doing. Are you still with your girl?
Yeah, I'm still with the same girl.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm so proud of her, man.
Nice.
She works so hard. She's at Wake Forest right now, getting a degree in sustainability,
Nice.
and she's getting ready to start medical school
Nice.
in the fall.
Look at
So,
y'all,
you know,
science and medical school. Look at y'all, just like
Oh, yeah,
the
dude.
power duo.
I'm pinning me down to Sugar Mama early.
Right. Right. That's what you gotta do, man.
Yeah. I met her and I was like, okay, you gonna.
Right.
No, I'm playing.
Right. Well, when did you meet her? How long ago? How long have you been dating?
We've been dating like a little over a year and a half now. We worked in the same research lab in undergrad,
Nice.
which is now the lab that I'm working at in graduate school, but she took off to go to a different school and
Right.
I stayed behind.
Right.
But we've been long distance for 8 months now.
Nice.
But I mean, only like an hour and a half.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But dude, I think everything is going fantastic.
Yeah. See,
I
like,
love her.
that's like when people ask me about like long distance relationships, that's doable. Like an hour and a half, that's cool.
Hour and a half.
But like, I like feel bad for like people who like have military spouses and like they're like overseas and like you know they might not see them for like 4-6 months, maybe even years, and like
maybe more.
maybe even more, and like I just like that's why like you know when I moved there was like girls that wanted me to try and work it out like long distance. I was like, I'm gonna be 8 hours away. I'm not doing I'm not doing
You
eight.
can't.
I'm not doing 8 hours. I'm sorry. Like I'm just, and I'm not, and like honestly, I'm just not. Like I've admitted to myself and like to other people, like I'm not the type of person to do long distance. You know, I like being up close, spending time. I'm like a time quality guy, so like I like
Yeah.
the time we share, and like being 8
I mean,
hours.
that's great. Yeah, that's great that you know that about
Right.
yourself, though. Because then some people are like that. They have no idea. They end up getting themselves in some hot water, and
Right.
that shit fucking hurts.
It does hurt,
That
yeah.
shit hurt like
Yeah,
a bitch.
yeah,
Man.
yeah,
Relationships
yeah.
suck sometimes.
Yeah, it does.
It'd be the worst thing ever.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah. Would you ever move out of that state? Are there any states you want to move to?
Oh yeah, for sure. Honestly, if I just had money like that,
Right.
I could go wherever. I'd hit up San Francisco.
Yeah, I want,
Bro,
bro,
Love San Francisco.
bro. If I had the money, I'd move out to Cali. Like,
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah,
I don't care where. Like, maybe not Compton, but like I don't care. Like Cali,
Yeah.
like you know.
That's where ballers are.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, right.
I just feel like, oh, oh, you ball, you're from California.
Right.
Yeah, that makes fucking sense.
Right, like that show,
The water out there.
the show 2.5 Men. Like Charlie Sheen had a Malibu beach house, like baller.
Yeah.
Like you know.
Yeah. Wow.
And like fun fact, before I went to App, I was going to go to. I got accepted into 4 different schools before App. I got accepted into University of San Jose, California, University of Las Vegas, Nevada, and then the University of South Carolina, and then App. And I was gonna go to California, but it was a little too expensive, and you know I